Today I'm going to be making two Warglaives of Azzonoth, but this is my first. It's about half finished, and hopefully this is what I'm going to end up with a second of, and then finish them. Okay, making these. Okay, lots of doweling. This is what I use for most of my weapons, or most of my weapon props. In this case I'm using this, which I believe is called beading, for the centre. Most of these are about either 6 or 5 millimeters thick, because the board I'm using, which is foam core, card-backed foam, or foam core card, whatever you decide to call it, and it's 5 millimeters thick, so you can hide this stuff inside and use it as a spine. Right. To start off with, I can't show you the scaling or anything else because I've already done one, and I'm going to be using the templates that I used to make this to make the second one. But as you can see, in this case, this is the full size of the card, and the full size of the blade. It is in no way going to fit. First off, you scale it, you measure the maximum blade length you can carry, scale that to the image, then work out the fact it won't fit on, but yeah. Okay. Once you've done the scaling, you get the marks that you've decided is the size of the piece you're going to make, and you draw it onto the card. I'd always draw them freehand, but you could just print out an enlarged picture and trace it, but freehand has always worked for me. In the end, you end up with something like this, which is one of the sides, as you can see there. Barely anything's changed on it apart from the straightness. Now in this case I'm going to use the template, so this will be done a lot quicker. As long as it fits, you take your template, which mine's curved a little because it's been sitting in a box for a few weeks. Just put it so it fits on your card. And trace around. Use a scalpel, go around the edge of the lines you just traced so that you can cut out the parts. Okay, and that's my third. Now in this case, because I'm using it as efficiently as possible, I'm going to use this now warped template as the fourth. Right. Now we've got these, but these will be impossible to hold together in the centre and don't really have any form to them. So, when you make this, I said 3 sections. Fortunately, the left and right of these are mirrored, so you can just use them. Just create the same thing over and over. Now for the centre. This is my template for the handle, which I made. In this case, I used my template, and I took that section, I took this side off of my template, because they go together like that. Then I drew through the centre, and drew a bit thick enough so that this will fit through, so that will fit in it, because that's going to be the support, or the spine for the whole thing, so it doesn't just fall apart. I'm going to have one of these going over the top and the bottom through those bars to give it more support, but they go on later, so either way. When I made this, I did make a mistake because my thumb was supposed to be able to fit through this gap, which only just does, and you can't fit the rest of your hand, so it's going to be an uncomfortable fit, and I'm going to have to hold it like this. Okay, so lesson for everyone: measure before you cut, or measure before you cut it, and make sure it'll fit. At least after you've cut it, make sure it'll fit. As you can see, I've been very professional and planned it out ahead, so I brought my hot glue gun at the start instead of going to get it now and only just starting to warm it up. It's probably going to be about 20 minutes, so I think I'll cut out that section. But now we've got the blades and the handle all ready. We now need to get this shield. You can't see the shield properly because it's still in one of the second forms, But we've got the shield there, which covers up the fact your hand's holding it and is actually in the proper design. So, you know. Now for this, because this stuff does not curve. This board does not curve. When the slightest you try, it snaps. And, well, you probably can't see how horrible that looks, but you may as well have just taken a hammer to it. And in there, you can see that it's a smooth curve. It's a smooth curve on the outside as well, and hasn't lost any of its structural strength, which it had originally. So for this, I'm going to take this bit. I'm going to take a bit of my leftover card and cut a square which is 32 by 42, I believe. I can't show me doing this because it would take all day to move the camera just to do this one shot. But run this, or hold it under warm water until it soaks all the way through the card. Once it's soaked all the way through the card will actually become flexible. And I should be back when it's flexible. Okay, got the box. Okay, got the card, which is now thoroughly soaked through. When it soaks through, you should be able to see the card change colour, but it gains the ability to do that, which would have absolutely wrecked it under the previous system. Then you get your card and get the right curve to it. Right. As you see, it is now curved. And I've done this wrong, and this is likely to be a complete mess when it's done. But that's okay, because, you know, it'll all be covered up in the end anyway, hopefully. Or I'll have to do it again. Well, this is looking like a case of having to do it again later. But you can see the basic technique. You do that, and you put this on top of a radiator or something warm, or just leave it in a warm, dry place, and it'll dry out for about a day or two. Okay, with all those mistakes and nonsense out of the way, we can now go on with making the base of the whole blade. So I take a centre section and two of the ends, as so. That's my template, which is warped, so I'm going to need to use it last. And hopefully they all fit together jigsaw puzzle style, like such. Now, this bit from earlier, this is half of the original. I cut it down the centre, so it was a 2 metre length, it's now 1, and hopefully this will fit across without getting in the way. Okay, if you didn't calculate properly like I did, and you cut that in half, you'll now need to cut it to length. And now you have a full back plane of the prop. With that across the centre, which will resist it bending and curling when you don't want it to, and gives it some resistance being bumped into walls. Now you can do this section in any order you want, so you could have cut them earlier, but now you need a section that will just belt out between the two layers to add a blade. So it actually looks like it has an edge on the final version. So all you need to do is get your blade, like so, trace around the bit that you want to add the blade to, which I'm just going to add it to the bottom. Limits what I can hit with, but now just draw a section. Like so, and just draw a dotted line around the outside about how thick you want and how far you want your blade to go out. Okay, this is now going to be the inside. Oh, could be a coolish knife. I'm not sure that took shape. But now I'm going to be using this doweling, which just ripped part of my hair out. And this is going to be forming a little reinforcing strut along the bottom. Right, back this, putting on the edge to the blade. At the moment I'm just dotting it on, but it doesn't make much difference. As you may be able to see, there's now an edge on it. As you can see at this point, inside this blade is quite a mess, but that will not matter in the slightest at the end. Now you have the core of a Warglaive. The basic blade. Now at this point you could really just sand down there, add a little bit of filler, and once you've got the shield in place you could actually have it finished, but you know, you're okay with having that huge gap between. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put hot glue in there and squeeze it together with pegs. Now, unlike earlier, you could actually just spray it in this condition, cover over that with a bit of masking tape, and you'd do as an outline. Doesn't look that bad. Shove a cut shield on top in shape, and you should be fine. Or alternately, carry on and finish. Right, the shield on the front dried overnight, and I've stuck it on. That's the only thing I've done when I didn't film. So now I made this, which is a template of the front, which I'm going to have to cut all the pieces flat. As you can see, it goes on like that. I've drawn the design on it. I'm just going to cut out the sections, then draw them onto this, and then glue those sections on. Take a bit of foam. Okay. Now just to make some supports for the back, just to give this bit a little bit more strength. Take a bit of foam. Cut out 2 straight sections. Fold them over, stick them together. Like so. Okay, just fold over, stick them together, make a double thick one. Now cut the top to about the angle that there is inside. Like so. Get this, check that the angle's right on the inside, which it is, and measure the height that you need, and just cut it. It doesn't matter how ugly this is, it's just reinforcement for the inside. Put it in like that, and just check it's in the right position, it's all cut to the right angle and like. Put some glue on the top and bottom. The first stages are done. At this point you could just paint it. It wouldn't look that terrible, just fill in the gaps a little bit between the sections. As you can see by the back, I've already painted the blades, and I'm at the same point on the other one as well. That is one very badly done star.